to another episode of the Six Figure Vet podcast, where we showcase the success stories of Black and Brown veterans who have successfully unlaced the boots. Now, today we have the multifaceted Lavelle, y'all. Lavelle is super duper uber special. He is currently serving right now, but hasn't allowed the uniform to dim his light or stop his shine. From making you laugh on social media to the stage opening for some of your faves, like Miss B. Simone, Velle is an entertainer, honey. Okay? Let's get into it. Not only is he giving us comedy, but this fashion icon also sings. Please welcome Lavelle Dontae, everybody. Welcome to the Six Figure Vet podcast.
What an introduction. Thank you.
You are welcome. We are so happy to have you today. So I always like to start off by asking each guest how their mental health is. So how are you doing today?
Right now, I'm a little under the weather. I made a video recently. My niece coughed in my face. She really, the germs really stuck, But other than that, I'm doing good. I'm really working on my discipline and, like working on myself and trying to be a better person. So I really like this new chapter I'm in.
What does that look like? What does discipline look like? What does actively practicing discipline look like?
With me, I have a schedule. Like, it's like on my home screen. It's like a list of things. So some of the things are mandatory and others are like things that I can pick and choose from that's gonna like feed my creativity. And I just decided to challenge myself because I felt like there was nothing challenging me now. Like after, like I reached a certain height on social media and I just got into a rhythm, but I was like, I know I want more, so I need to do more. And I don't really know like where exactly it's gonna take me.
Yeah.
But I'm like pushing myself to be better than I am now. I feel like that'll open my mind to new ideas and new opportunities.
Yes. Do you think that your discipline, do you think discipline, because I've never heard of it like that. So you think discipline feeds creativity?
With me, yes, because the things that I'm pushing myself to do, gonna like expand. Like there's some reading that I do, there's some journaling that I do. There's
Come on, mental health. Come on.
Like vocal exercises, practicing the piano, drawing. Like it's just I'm making myself do it. Like I'm kind of making it more of a job. And when I push myself to do it, even when I don't want to, sometimes I just come up with stuff.
Oh, that's good. That's really, really good. I love that. Because I think that people think creatives are in any space, not just on social media, but artists, singers, anything. It's just a natural gift, but you have to train for those things as well. Like just because you're good at singing doesn't mean that you don't have to practice.
Yes, you have to sharpen the spear. You got to stay.
Yes, for the sharpening spear. Velle, tell us about your backstory, your background. What were you doing prior to join? First, okay, so y'all, Velle's military service is a little outlandish. No shade, no shade. So we want to get into first before you tell us how, like, your journey with the military, what you're doing now in the military. What were you doing prior to? What even made you join the military? Like, give us some of your history and your background.
Okay. So recently I was like thinking about like before I joined the military and before social media, and I really was like, wow, like I really was doing a lot of stuff. Like, so elementary school, I was pretty reserved, but then like third grade-ish, maybe first grade, was when I started like doing public speaking things. Like we would do, the stuff in front of the school, like History Month, we all got
right. I'm Martin Luther King.
I was Barack Obama, but I really was feel like I was like, oh yes, like this, and that was really current for me. Like
yes,
that was him this election year, I think. And then third grade came, fourth grade, and I did a Martin Luther King speech, and I had my teacher. I don't know if I can say her name, but she was just like pushing me to get louder and stuff like that, and like and I did a Martin Luther King speech, and even though I was reiterating someone else's words, I remember it was a man there that cried. Like,
oh man, how old were you?
I was like probably 7, 8. Yeah, but I was saying it with so much like I am happy to join with you. Like I was saying it, so you couldn't even see me. Like I was behind the podium. I was so short.
Oh wow!
But I was saying it. I remember he cried, and that moment always stuck with me. But I never realized like what it would do for me later.
Yeah, what
And then
it manifest into.
yeah. And then 5th grade, I did like this thing, like I hosted the graduation because it was the same teacher. She knew like, oh, Lavelle gonna be the one to do it because he the loud one, he the one that can talk. So
Yeah.
I did like the whole graduation ceremony. And then middle school came, I did like some talent shows. I was like in a scholarship pageant and I was like, good in school. And then high school, I did the scholarship pageant again. I think I did it 2 times. It was
Mhm.
like different age groups. Um, I wrote a play in 11th grade, and I
Yeah,
did.
I don't like this light flex. He like, oh yeah, so when I was 3, I was, meeting at the White House, and then in 11th grade, I wrote my first novel.
No, but like, so I think what pushed my creativity was the lack of resources. Like, I would see it on TV and stuff like that, but I was like, there's nothing around. Like, I didn't go to an art school. There was not a lot of people around me that could draw, that could sing, that could just like think outside of what was around us. And my imagination will always just be like, just developing things.
Wait, so you did go to art school?
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
I went to public school. But no, so 11th grade, I was in African American studies, and my teacher was like, we was watching this movie called Sankofa. I have that tattooed on my arm. But he was like, this would be good if somebody wrote a play, blah, blah, blah. And as he said that, I was like, I'm finna write it. And I just got in my composition notebook and I was just writing it. I don't know how many pages of it I wrote that day. Like I came up with a whole, like a script. It was based on the word, but I like changed like what happened. So I was writing like a
So
setting.
you wrote a full play like this character says this character
Yeah.
says that.
But I was a drama club president before. I did a lot of stuff. But I wrote the play. I came to him and I like gave him the composition notebook and he was like, wow, man. He was very like uplifting. I love that teacher. And he was like, you need to finish this and we need to perform it, blah, blah, blah. And then we performed it and we did it. We was only supposed to do it one day, but then the principal told us like, you guys got to do this tomorrow so the other half of the school can see this. So
Oh,
it was such a whole production. I was the main character because I was the only one that can remember that many lines. And because I wrote it, like I was like, okay, I know this.
yes.
But yeah, then the whole, just like after that, I was the class president senior
It's not
year.
surprising.
Yeah. Uh, but throughout that whole time, like I was raised by my mom. I mean, my dad was kind of not for real, but my mom is like super, super, super like strong. My mom is like the only person that I would consider a role model. Like I've seen my mom do everything. Like my mama been outside on the roof patching up a hole. She had her carpenter's license. She was a cosmetologist.
Really?
And now my mama a nurse.
I know that's right, black woman. I
Yeah.
know that's right.
So she guided me and my 3 older siblings, and we used to read the Bible at home, and yeah. But I was always like the not the black sheep, but I was just like crazy talented. Like my family, even now, like it be stuff that I be doing, and they be like, like, how can you do this? It be stuff that I'll learn how to do stuff, and I'll be like, wow, like how do I know how to play the piano?
Yeah. And you weren't in a performing arts school.
No, but I always wanted it. So like, there's a lot of things that I would just like immerse myself in, and I would like do it until I'm good at it. Like when I kind of learned how to play the keyboard, but I was watching videos every day, and I played every day until my hands was hurting.
You're self-taught.
Kinda. It's not. I ain't really all that, but I know how to like.
So you didn't take any classes. That's what I'm alluding to. So
Yeah, I was on YouTube and I was looking at this lady, and she was like teaching how to move your hands and stuff. I'm gonna learn how to do this.
baby, let me go turn on my son's TV. Get in here and get on this keyboard right now. You like YouTube so bad. That's so dope. But the question is, if since you had all of these talents, where did the military come from?
Okay, even though I had a lot of talents, I wouldn't say I was insecure in my abilities. I just think I was insecure in where I could go with them. Because there's not a lot. I grew up, we lived in front of the freeway. Like I did not grow up in like middle class. Like yeah, so when it came to like finances and just like having like a for sure career, I was just like, well, this is something that I know, like, I'm gonna be able to get some money. And my talents then only felt like a hobby. Like, I was
Yeah.
very academically excellent. Like, so I was like, okay, I could be in medical school. Like, so I was really just thinking the whole, is it blue collar, white collar?
White collar.
White collar. I'm like, yeah, I could do doctor. I could do something like that. And then I was thinking about joining the Air Force, and I told my mama that, and she took me to the recruiting office. And I was like, she was like, get in there. And I was like, okay. So I went in there, and it was like cool vibes. But I also just like I wanted to go too because it was just like so much going on at that time, just like with me, my identity, like knowing like what I liked, stuff like that. And I was like, I need to get the hell out of Jacksonville.
Oh, you from Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes,
Oh, okay. With the young men's with the gold mouths and wicks and
I got
stuff.
a grill. I got a grill.
Oh, baby, we seen it. I'm gonna use that picture. Don't you worry about it.
But yeah, I just needed an escape. Like it was just too much going on. That's another reason. Like I felt like that was the only way that I would be able to really get away from my reality at the time. And
Mm-hmm.
I just thought like that'll be like a good career choice. Like I wasn't thinking of like going the artsy way. That felt like a dream to me.
Yeah. So I want to get into when it stopped feeling like a dream. But before I get into that, so you join and you go active. You're not active right now.
Not anymore.
Okay, so so take us through that transition to what you're doing now in the military.
Okay, I was active duty in the Air Force. I enlisted in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
and then I switched to the Florida Air National Guard in
Okay.
the summer of last year.
Okay.
And now, that's just like monthly drills, and we get activated for like certain things, like the weather that just came. We had the 2 hurricanes, so I had to go and forecast because I'm a weather forecaster.
Oh, I forgot their rate in the Navy. I think they're like GSs or something like GMAs or GSAs or something like that.
Mhm.
But that's a really, really cool job. Are y'all so in on the ship they had them, they literally used to sit in a dark room all day.
No, we don't do all this. Uh-uh.
Really?
But
It's
it's
not like
different
that?
there because like y'all surrounded. I don't know why y'all would be in a dark room, but we got like an office space, and then
Because we was on the ship. So it was like inbound.
we'll go. We have like an office space. You can go outside sometimes. And I've always been Army support. So it's not just like office work looking at the computer. If we have to go on an exercise and stuff like that, we have to take that laptop to the tents with them. If we
Really?
have
Y'all gotta go. The guard gotta go out in the field too?
the floor, I'm still Army support. I'm like, I didn't sign up for that. I'm in the
Now hold on. I told y'all I was gonna tell y'all
Air.
it was raining, a little thunder, but being outside
Yes, we did an exercise that was 30 days outside, no showers. In the
for 30 days.
in the desert.
So what was y'all using to take? Did they give y'all wipes or something?
You had to bring your own stuff. Some people wasn't really people wouldn't even bring hand sanitizer. Had me a little bucket. And I brought 30 pair of drawers.
As you should have, because ain't no washer out there, and people probably didn't even think that far out. Like if we're not gonna be able to bathe ourselves, we're definitely not gonna be able to wash our clothes.
I brought 30 pair. I bought
Was
some.
it women out there with y'all?
Yes. There's nothing they could do. I don't know what they did.
Lord Jesus. Let's pray for them. Amen. So, how did you get into content creation? Where did that start from?
COVID. So my military career, it started right before COVID. And
Yes.
then by the time I finished all of my trainings and stuff, it was time for me to like start doing the on the job training, like getting good and doing it like for real. And COVID happened. So we was like at home so much. Like I would just be home. And we had like online training we had to do, but it was like stuff we would do like that. We would have like little Zoom meetings, and it was as long as there was enough people there that could what is it with they could still social distance, but
Yeah.
keep things going, keep the shop running. That's the people they had there. And they wasn't gonna bring us because it's like y'all not even trained, y'all not even certified. So we was just home. And I think that's probably like 2020, 2021. And I had a TikTok before this one that went like super viral.
Mm-hmm.
But I started like making videos then. Cause I used to always like make funny videos. But I would just do it like with the intention to make my friends laugh. Like I'm like, oh, this is gonna be funny for them. Like I never thought like, oh, I want to get a lot of views. Like I would just like it would just like be me doing a talent show for my friends.
Yes. So, Velle, I know that women empowerment is like really important to you. And why is it so important to you to incorporate that into your comedy?
Well, I think outside of for one, I think I perceive women very differently than most of the world. Not
Elaborate.
not even as equals. I think women have a lot more value than me. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just my opinion.
We gonna go with it. We gonna go with it.
That's how I feel. Despite like society, like the power balance. Like I've
Yeah.
always just really, really loved women. Like even when I first started drawing, like I'll even if I started sketching right now, I would draw a woman's face. Like it's just always a women. And I think outside of um my like me wanting them to see their actual value, and I see the value because of my mom. Because my mom was
Right.
she literally showed me that her gender isn't an obstacle because she did things that people would say only men would do. And she did
Right.
stuff that they say men would do that I've never seen a man do.
Oh, that's good. That's a word right there.
And she was on the roof. We been putting up shelves. We used to be fixing the pipes, like all type of stuff. She was I'm like, well, and I never like shifted my perspective of her. I was just like, wow, like women can do everything. But
Yeah.
back to women empowerment. Um, I think another thing was since probably like high school, maybe early middle school, when I first started seeing like the girls that I knew like started dating and stuff like that, because I would know both, the men and the women, or the men
Yeah.
and the females, and I would literally see them being happy and like excited and stuff like that, and then have conversations with the boys. Like we in the locker room now, and y'all talking about how y'all cheating on her, and I'm like, we.
It's the most heartbreak.
I'm like, well, this is eighth grade.
So we'll just think about next year in high school.
Yeah, but
Y'all
it
finna walk the dog with these girls.
even I would say like a lot of the men in my family who I grew up with, or at least like I don't know, I don't want to say specifically them because it's not just them, but just like I would hear on TV like men telling the younger men like, oh, he gonna have a lot of girlfriends, or
It's a persona,
yeah, don't
definitely.
settle down. Like it's two different stories that are taught to us. Like
Yeah.
women are really like taught to just love and honor men and be married and settle down, and the other thing is like have fun, date, get a bunch of girlfriends. But I would just see how many lies and just like bad energy. I don't know, just like within the dynamic of like certain relationships. I will say
Yeah.
like hetero relationships. And I would always see how like women would get like the bad hand. And
The short end.
yeah, the short end. So I was silent for so long about it, but I was just like, let me make content about this. Like I could say it because I would talk to all of the women that I know and be like, girl, film. I can cuss on here.
Yes.
Girl, fuck. Like I would be like, what is going on? And it would just really upset me. Like I'm like, how are you so blind? Like how don't you see that you have all the value, or like you can still be who you are without this person? Like I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just like they would value men so much and in their relationships. So I was like, you know what? Shake that phone. Like it was just so much stuff that I
Shake
was
that
doing
phone.
just to at least people think it was just all jokes and comedy and me trying to be messy, but I literally was like, I'm going to dismantle patriarchy, and I'm going.
Now she was on a mission.
I'm going to use my talents and
You just took it so far. I'm gonna dismantle patriarchy. That's what I'm gonna do today on this
yeah,
Tuesday.
I'm more than positive through the testimonials that I ended a lot of relationships. And some people, they laugh at what I do, but sometimes that seed is planted. And for the 5, 10, 20, maybe 100 people that was able to really see the reality of what was going on in the relationship. Because it's like you are biting your tongue and not really doing certain things to maintain a joy that's not real.
Yeah.
Like, this person is not bringing you peace. This person is lying to you. This person is abusive, whether physically or verbally. Like, there's so many terrible relationships that I've been on the sidelines on I've tried to like talk to people and they will just ignore what I'm saying. But I'm like, okay, well, at least I can tell some other people. The most I can do is use my voice. And to top it off, I can make it funny. That way it can stick. That way it's shareable.
Yeah.
Because when you just be talking serious, women, like, people be like, oh, whatever.
Oh,
They'll get
another post.
yeah, but when it's a joke, like, people, they'll watch it over and over again and not even know that I'm planting the seed.
Yeah, and it's taking root. Because like you
Mhm.
said, there's been a lot of relationships ended, but that's not even a really bad thing. I think sometimes as women, speaking as a woman that has stayed in a situation for far too long, not Lord, not now, Lord, I'm delivered. Thank you, Lord. But we fall in love with the potential of what could be, not even
So
like a guarantee of what's going to happen. We fall in love with the potential of a maybe.
exactly.
Like you could potentially be this amazing guy that loves me, and he potentially could be, but potential is not reality.
Potential. Everybody has potential.
Everybody, you know how many people I knew from the hood that could play basketball that had the potential to go to the NBA?
That has musical talents. That don't
All
mean
the things.
exactly.
All
Another
the
thing I
things.
think with women, this is just what I think. I think because of like the maternal instinct and there's a lot of people in general. I don't even want to put this stamp on women. Some people mistake the love that they have for people for being in love with the person because
Yeah.
you know their backstory, you know everything they've been through. So like now you're excusing them, and it's like you just trying to make this person a better person, but that's not actually like the relationship love. Like, that's your love for humanity. If you met if you knew anybody's storyline, you would be like, oh, I want the best for you, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't mean you have to give yourself to this person, especially if they're not
Yeah.
approaching you or doing anything for you.
Yeah, that don't mean to become the fixer.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's real good. Okay, so how was the pivot from being on social media in the comfort of your own home within your own private space to taking your talents to the stage? What was that transition like?
To the main stage. I mean, but I told you my background, so it wasn't as difficult as people think. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, he funny for real because he can take it to the stage, bro. Because a lot of people, it's the other way around. Like, they'll start doing it and it takes them a long time to get comfortable on stage.
Yeah.
For me, I had to get comfortable delivering that type of content, but I wasn't really scared performing in front of a crowd. At first, I was. It
Mm.
was so long, but it was so long since I have done it last.
Mhm.
But I sang in church. I sung in front of I did the national anthem at a parade ceremony. I'm like, this is nothing. I sung in front of the whole base.
See
So,
what I'm saying, y'all?
but so it's like it's just a different type of thing. But I honestly think it's way easier, at least to me, than other performances because there's no room for mistakes. Like if I'm singing or if I'm saying a speech or even if I'm doing a weather brief, like I'm supposed to be so clean cut and everybody's supposed to understand me. But when I'm delivering comedy, for one, everybody there is really open for a good time.
Yes.
They also might be a little drunk, a little high.
Not you banking on these people.
They do. They
Sobriety.
do. I don't try to, but that's just what happened. So even if I make a mistake or I forget it's like that adds to the joke, and like they be ready to laugh, like they know that I'm gonna be funny and I'm gonna bring a good time. So I feel like even if I be like, "What's my lines?" and I turn around and look at my notes, they'll still laugh. I don't know, but it was scary at first because I was like, "I've never done this. Like, what if they don't laugh?" Blah, blah, blah. But then, like, I realized, like, I was like, "I'm hilarious."
Yeah. Have you ever been heckled? Is
No.
that what it's called? Heckling?
I mean, I haven't done stand-up that many times. I've done it less than 20 times, but I know how to, like,
Get the crowd going. He knows how
yes,
to keep the party going.
yeah, like, I know how to that's another thing. I feel like all of my life, everything always connects with me. Like, all of my life, I've always been, like, able to communicate with everybody in the room. Like,
Mm.
I remember we had exchange students that didn't speak English, and I was, like, just trying to communicate with them, and I made them laugh. And I was like, "I got it."
Yeah, this me. This my lane.
Yeah, or, like, in basic training, I was who's y'all person, like, that's over everybody?
RPOC.
I was a dorm chief.
Okay.
I was the smallest and youngest person in the thing, but I was a dorm chief. So I was able to communicate with everybody because, it's people from all different type of states. There's people there that's never interacted with a black person.
Literally.
And I know I had to, like, talk to them and let them know, like, hey, you might want to not want to say that because
Yeah.
they don't care about this. I always had to be the moderator. But
Yes.
yeah, I think that's another good thing because I'm able to communicate to all type of people in different age groups, and I can deliver my comedy in a way that's relatable to everybody.
Yes. Velle, can you tell me about so from your upbringing, I can see confidence is not an issue at all, but sometimes you can be, but we talked about that, like it's a difference between not being confident in yourself, but having the confidence that your talents are going to take you far. So how are you able to overcome that and truly bet on yourself? Like, okay, we finna build this brand. We finna get into it for real.
It's not even confidence. Okay, it is a little bit, but it's faith. Like,
Mm.
there's things that has happened or just throughout my life, like I always see a glimpse of God. Like, I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
And it'll, like, just be like an overwhelming feeling that, like, what I'm doing is right. Or like how I said, like, basic training, me being able to communicate with everybody, and then I was able to connect that to when I was, like, in a room in elementary school, like, talking to like, going from table to table, talking to everybody. I was like, this, like, God has been preparing me for this
Your
now.
whole life.
Yes, but I don't know I don't remember the exact moment, but I do remember, like, crying in my room because it was so much going on. Like, I would say even with, like, the way I express myself, because I would put on makeup and stuff sometimes, and I realized, at least before I started doing that, that the version of myself that I was trying to become had nothing to do with God. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm joining the Illuminati. But I was just worried about I was I wasn't joining the Illuminati or anything, but I was worried about all of the different expectations that people had for me as a black man. And I think a part of that was why the reason I joined the military. Like, I was like, okay, maybe this fits into the niche idea of what people think I should do, and then I'll be accepted and people will like me and stuff like that. And I basically conjured up this version of a person that I needed to be to get love.
Mm.
And when I started checking all the boxes off and I got to that last box, because I was in the military, I was a meteorologist, I was forecasting every day, I had my own apartment. I was,
The whole thing.
yeah, I was thinking like, okay, I got my career now. I'm out of high school. I'm finna start taking classes. But I felt the lowest I ever felt because I was like, okay, I did it all. What now? Like, where's
Yeah.
the love? Where's the joy? Where's my friends?
And the crazy thing about God is he'll let you get all those things that you feel
Exactly.
like you need only to show you that ain't it.
Going the wrong way.
Like you still gonna be empty
They don't got nothing to do with you. While
at all.
you worried about what they gonna do for you, I'm gonna do everything.
Right.
But I realized, I remember being in my room and I was crying, like I was bawling. And God is funny with me. I don't know about y'all independent relationships, but our relationship is very humorous. And I was crying. I was like, God, what am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? Like, it was really a sad moment. And whenever I be crying, God be like, please. And I like I went from and I just stopped crying. It was this wave of information and positivity. It literally felt like I was in a dark room and a light shined behind me. Like if that's what happened in that moment. And like I turned around and I realized like me being in the military, I realized my purpose. I realized I was supposed to spread positivity. I was supposed to spread joy. I was supposed to like, spread the light of Christ. I knew that I was multi-talented because those were different channels for people to find me and for me to spread joy.
Yeah.
And I knew that the years that I would be in the military, at least active duty, will be the time that I perfect my craft. Because I started learning how to play the piano, I started learning how to do my makeup, I started learning how to do beats, I started making content. Like I was making content for like 3 years before I went viral. Before I switched to the guard. And I switched to the guard because I was like, I would say God told me, like, it's your time. So I was signing the papers and stuff like that. And the week that I was leaving Kansas to come back to Florida, and I was like posting, was when I went viral. When I made my first check that phone video, and I was like, God, you told me this a long time. Like this is the moment.
I
Like
should have been obedient. I could
yeah,
have been
I was.
doing this.
I was. The time before that was just for me to prepare, and then
Yeah.
even, like my page got deleted. Like that page that originally was growing, it got deleted, and I had to make another one. And I was like, what about everything? Blah blah blah. But then God spoke to me again. He was like, all of that content that you made, you can repurpose it because them people never seen it. And I was like,
Sure
oh my God.
can.
So it's like a lot of jokes and stuff. It's a lot of stuff that's like up my sleeve that's nobody's never seen. And I'm like, wow, like I can surprise y'all.
Wait, the page from 3 years ago got deleted?
Yes. And I remade, like I made another TikTok. And if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have posted my reels. I started posting my stuff on Instagram. I'm like, okay, well, at least I could post everything on Instagram because TikTok gone and my Instagram started growing.
Yep.
It's like, wow, like everything just be
Look
happening.
at you showing now. Okay, God.
Yes. But I think I just have confidence in him. Like I
Yeah.
know that whenever I'm doing stuff, because I don't do anything with ill will. Like I try to be positive all the time. And I literally know that I can do anything. Like I have the power of Christ behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like me doubting myself or me not believing or any like I can't even think of the word, but any like skepticism, is it that
Mm-hmm.
word?
Yes.
Is me literally telling God, you're not powerful enough to make this happen.
Ooh. Ooh.
I
Oh
don't
my
even
gosh.
I don't even get skeptical no more because I'm like, who am I to tell you could do anything?
Yeah. That's crazy because I was just reading last night and I want to say it was Amos, but it said that like the people of Israel they was being the people of Israel, if you know you know, and they start worshiping other gods, and um it was like the reason why they start worshiping other gods is because they lost trust in God. Their fear made them lose trust in God. Like their fear of whatever they were going to lack, their fear of like just the fear of whatever made them feel like I need to do something to intervene or I can't do this.
Yes.
And that's the loss of trust.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And
God killed them all, but you know how he used to do it. You know how he used to do in the Old Testament. Thank you, Jesus, for coming.
yeah. And I know my life is not my own. Like I feel like that always comes back to my mind. Like in any situation, negative or positive, if I'm struggling with something, I'm like, thank you God for showing me how strong I am. Like if I feel like I would be in a life or death situation and I'll be like, well, maybe my life was meant to spark something else to somebody. Like it's always like I know that I am a puzzle piece or a chess piece and it's not about what I want and what I want to do and I should have control of everything that I want in my life. It's literally about me kind of being a pawn, but at least I'm connected and I know that as I'm moving and as I'm being guided, that I need to be snapping my fingers and smiling at everybody, and continue to
True submission, honey. True
yeah.
submission.
But people don't even know that. They think like, oh, what? They don't even know.
That is real true submissions. And Velle, like in the entertainment industry, I know things can get like challenging or and not even just for like social media and content, but like the realms that you're stepping into, I know it can be hard, especially being a Black man, especially being somebody, you know, of the LGBTQ community. So what are some challenges? What has been the biggest challenge that you have faced in the entertainment industry as it has came to your arts, and how have you gotten over it?
I mean, I'm not really that deep into it yet. I feel like that's the challenge in itself. The fact that I'm not, like the fact that I don't really feel it. Maybe that's a good thing, you know. Maybe I shouldn't feel like, oh, I'm a celebrity now, you know. But
Because I've been telling all my, I told my sister, I said I got a celebrity on my podcast.
I would think though, like it's really like my relevancy is all based on me. It's based on my consistency. Like it's not. I'm not connecting with other people. I'm not getting the opportunities and stuff that sometimes I would be hoping for. But then again, like I said, like submission, like I always, or you said, I always think about God timing. Like, you know, we got all of this Diddy stuff going on. Maybe I don't need to be in Hollywood. Who knows? Like I
No
always feel
Diddy.
I always feel like God is probably protecting me, or there's a lesson in what I'm doing right now. Like even me having to do everything on my own as far as like my stand up, like I'm learning everything. But that is going to be beneficial in the future. Like once I'm in charge and I'm telling people what to do, and I can know if you lying to me or not because
Yep.
I did the tickets back when I started.
Right.
So who knows? And then even the idea of like what I think my future is going to be has nothing to do with me depending on other people. Like it's literally like me being the platform, like me, you know, like creating this really big thing. And it isn't really me getting my opportunities or my money from another company.
Yeah. Yeah. You are the brand. And I think it's important. I had another veteran on here that is a content creator, Leslie Latrice, and she is her brand. And I love that. I love the fact that you are your brand and you are the face of your brand and you are a representation of yourself as the brand. So I think that's really, really dope. So what are you more passionate about? Are you more passionate about, like, out of all of your talents?
I don't want to say I like more one more than another, but I really do love music. Like I love music so much, and I think probably because it's a way for me to like praise and communicate in a way that I can't really explain.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though I'm using my words, but it's just like a feeling that's not really comparable. Like drawing is fun and being funny and you know, but when I sing, like that's the only thing. It's like my emotions, my spirit is shifted. I can make other people feel a certain thing or give them the emotion that I'm feeling. I know my voice is like my most powerful talent, but singing instead of like speaking really like does it for me. But I don't know. That's just I like them all. I like all of my gifts. I'm blessed. I'm grateful for them. I don't want to say I like one more than another, and you take the other ones away. God.
Right. Because I know you like to play. You like to get a little high in. Why have you chosen to stay in the guard now that your career is like on the uphill incline? Is it because, are you patriotic?
Kinda. I
That's
would say
okay.
I'm super American, blue, red, white, and blue, but you know, I do know that we are, in a nutshell, we have something to do with the life that we have now.
Yes.
So it's not like, oh, everything, you know, because there are a lot of things that we have that my ancestors didn't have. Um, but I mean, I don't want to just like get dishonorably discharged, you know. I don't know. Part of me maybe it's like, what is it, imposter syndrome? Like I don't feel like it's really happening for real, so I feel like I need like a backup
A
plan.
backup plan?
But I think another the reason is I like having like that normalcy. Like I feel like
Yes.
once it's gone, and my life is going to be like completely different. Like
Yeah.
me having to go to work and be normal, like that's the only time. And I'm starting not to like that because people are starting to recognize me at work. Like it was this one girl who was like, and it's like I don't want that. Like I like to, you know, I like different.
So they don't know that you're a social media sensation?
They did it.
Oh,
They didn't at first because I started growing really, as soon as I switched because that was last
yes.
summer. And I had a conversation with somebody, and I'm thinking we was having a one-on-one. And then the next week, I had to come to work, and they was like, "Oh, such and such told me all about your stuff. I watched your stuff. You're so good." And I was like, "Oh Lord," but they treat me pretty normal. It's nothing really crazy. But I don't know. I think a part of me is still seeking or hoping to feel human because you really lose your humanity when you have a platform. Like people just perceive you so differently. Like you're just such a. Because I've been this talented, but now that but now that I have
I was
followers,
born like this, okay? Whitney Houston is my great aunt on my daddy's side.
but now that I have a following, like it's just I don't know. People see so much value in it, and in my mind, I'm like, if the internet go up, I'm nobody. I'm back to normal. I'm just like we're all human. I'm just popular. Like I just post a lot. Anybody can do what I'm doing, but I think that's why. I think like I just like feeling grounded. I like feeling that human part of me because I go to work and the people that's there, the officers and stuff, they don't know like the hurricane stuff thing that just happened. They don't know me for that. They know me as a meteorologist. That's it. You're the swell. Go over there, do your work. Hey, good job on that. Blah 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 blah. And I'm still getting treated like a regular person. But if they knew about my content, then it's like, so what are you doing a show here? Like I don't like getting those questions all the time. I like being treated regular.
So what happens when that comes about? Say your officer finds out that you are Lavelle Dontae.
So they know, but they don't really treat it differently. It's a lot of times at work where they'll be like, so that they'll reference my videos, like, and I wouldn't even recognize what's going on or something, and they'll be like, your video, right? But they don't take it too far, Like I have to take no selfie with nobody, but I don't know. And I feel like a lot of people also like when I'm in uniform because it be like other because I do deal with the army. I feel like
Mhm.
the soldiers be knowing who I am, but they don't want to say nothing because like we at work and I got on my camouflage. When I wear my camouflage, ain't no more jokes. I'm not playing right now.
What?
I made a video about that. I don't play at work.
Not not
When the camouflage is on, the jokes are off.
Oh wow, Bill,
It's,
that is insane.
unless you're like in my circle, like if I know you, it's like okay, blah blah blah. Like, but if I don't know you, I'm so serious. I'm actually kind of quiet actually at work.
I love the fact that I feel like you are so blessed because you are so humble. People don't understand how like important that is. Like your submissiveness and your humbleness, wanting to stay grounded. 100,000 followers. I'm quitting my job tomorrow. Bye. But I'm just playing if y'all hear this. It's just a little jokey, just a little jokey joke. But people really struggle with that, especially when it happens fast, even though it didn't happen for you fast because you had that whole time of
Mm,
preparation phase. But your desire to want to stay
yeah,
grounded and humble is just like really, really, really inspiring. That alone, just your willingness to be obedient and be humble and want to stay connected to the ground and touch the earth and the grass is
yeah.
that's big. What has been your biggest challenge with balancing like your time serving and building your brand?
Um, it's not really challenging anymore because I'm not active anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
like, I have a lot of free time. I would just say my biggest challenge sometimes right now would be me figuring everything out like as a because now I'm basically an entrepreneur but like I said everything is connected like I can do my own graphic design because I know how to draw. I make all my flyers. I
Mm-hmm.
do all the ticket stuff. Like I do all of my promos. Like I don't pay for no advertisements or I would say maybe that like because that's like a weekend thing. It
Mm-hmm.
hasn't gotten in the way yet, you know. Um, but it really would just be like me figuring things out as a content creator. And I would say that's probably another reason I'm like not really too much of a rush to leave because having followers doesn't necessarily mean money. Like
I
it,
remember you made a post and was like, What brand is it?
I've only had like one brand collaboration, and that was like $1,000. I make more money doing stand up. That's all I'm be worried about. I be like, whatever about it. I don't give a damn about making a commercial. I can get on stage and make my money.
I know that's right. What do you see for your future going forward as like a brand, aspirations for content creating, you know what I'm saying, a little music release? What do you see going forward? What is your short or long term plan?
So I remember my god sister told me that we'll make a plan for our future and God will laugh.
That's true.
I don't know because I didn't expect this. I never wanted to do stand up comedy, and it wasn't like something like like I'm totally against it. It just was never on my radar as something that I should do. Excuse me, but I I do plan on dropping some music. It's a lot. I got music done, made on the tablet right here next to me. But you gotta be strategic with it. I'm trying to be like Beyonce. She don't just drop. She'll put a little Easter egg. And like it'll be weird for me to be like comedy album. Like it,
Yes.
it has to segue. People have to know that I can sing a little bit
Yes.
before I do that. Uh, but I do see myself like in the future. I don't know, maybe hosting something
Mm.
on TV or the movie.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't even
Yes.
want to say things. I feel like I'm also going to create some like a job title or like a type of platform or entertainment that doesn't even exist right now.
Yes, I love that. I love that because to be honest, that's literally what innovation is creating things that the world needs that they don't know that they need.
I'm gonna be. I don't know what I'm gonna be.
But something amazing.
Too
Something
late.
amazing. So, do you have any upcoming shows? What can we expect from you more so in the near future? What's happening?
Hold on. Them baby germs.
Yeah, I will be linking Velle's social media info below in the show notes. So and on the podcast notes as well. So y'all can please go watch this man and get stuck on a rabbit hole like I do every time I open my phone and go to his page.
Thank you. Thank you. Just check the link in my bio. I do plan on like performing in a lot of different cities and stuff like that. You go. I'm still making commercials every day. I'm gonna post something and be like, "This is my new show," and I have like different flyers and stuff posted. So I'm coming to different cities. I do plan on going to like Baltimore and
Mm,
Alabama, the Carolinas. I want to go everywhere.
I love that. I love that. There's also a really big veteran and military population out here in VA Beach.
You live out there?
I do.
Oh, okay. I might
I
go out there.
do.
I do want to go to the DMV.
Yes, the DMV it's a time, honey, from DC all the way down to the beach. You're gonna have a time. It's amazing. Vale, tell the people where they can reach you at.
I am Lavelle Dontae on all platforms. You gonna put it down here?
I am. Not right there.
Whatever.
Okay, y'all. This has been another amazing episode of the Six Figure Vet podcast. The Six Figure Vet is out. Okay. Hey y'all, it's a Six Figure Vet here. If you are a veteran that you know is struggling with mental health crises or any type of mental health issues, please tell them to reach out to 988. The number is 988. That's the Veterans Crisis Line. Trained crisis responders are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to meet your needs. You do not have to suffer in silence.